Hello, Blessed. Today's topic is Two Gospels, Part 2. And now, our Bishop, Rafael Encarnacion.
Salón 666.
Previously, in Classroom 666, there are two Gospels. There's the Gospel of circumcision and the Gospel of uncircumcision. The principal objective is to understand that these two Gospels were established for two different covenants and two different types of people. If there is an old covenant, it's because there was something that happened in history. And now, the conclusion of course 2 Gospels 501. If we say new covenant, it has made old the first one, and what is old is soon to disappear, stop existing. Here we have some sneakers. This is pretty rough. Now, how do you know that they are old? You know that they are old because the new has come. So then once the new comes, you do not want to know about the old. In the same manner, the new covenant and the old covenant. When the new covenant comes, it's because we have established an old covenant, and the calling is to leave that behind because we have established a new covenant based on better promises. Galatians chapter 3 verse 13 says, Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Christ, with his death, has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Christ redeemed us from that curse, having become a curse for us, for it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree. Like we were seeing, on the cross was precisely where the mystery was hidden. That with that death, there was a division of covenants. Yes, a covenant that was based on better promises. Now let's see the gospel of the uncircumcision of the great apostle Paul, or the new covenant. Galatians chapter 2 verse 7. And this is the one that we have used as a foundation. When they saw that the gospel for the uncircumcised had been committed to me, to who? To the great apostle Paul. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 8 through 10. That I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Christ, and to make all see. So then, the apostle Paul was the chosen apostle for the Gentiles, and to make all see. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 and 9. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. The apostle Paul was the chosen man by God to bring to us, the Gentiles, the revelation of establishing the foundation of what the cross of Calvary meant for us, the church. Before the cross, after the cross. Gospel of circumcision, gospel of uncircumcision. It's not the same before and after. A covenant of law, a covenant of grace. The cross was the difference. Note in the graphic that once Christ dies, there is a change in covenant. But when there is a change in the covenant, note this observance that's very important. He chooses an apostle, the apostle Paul, for us, the Gentiles. So then there's a new covenant and a new apostleship, a new covenant and a new representative head of the gospel of uncircumcision, a new covenant, a new gospel, a new apostle. Before the cross, old covenant. After the cross, new covenant. Before the cross, gospel of circumcision. After the cross, gospel of uncircumcision. Before the cross, works. After the cross, faith. Acts chapter 21 verse 17 through 20. Paul went in with us to James, and all the elders were present. Luke is writing. Luke was with Paul, and he says that he went into a reunion with James, and the elders were there. Acts 23, 12 through 14. The Jews banded together and bound themselves under an oath, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. They came to the chief priests and elders. These elders are the same ones that were in chapter 21, next to James. So then there was a plot by the apostles and the elders to kill Paul, because Paul was a threat for the fraud that they committed with the gospel which Paul discovered. Wow. Are you thinking blessed? I mean, we're speaking about the evidence. Abba Father, for the man Christ Jesus, who has educated us to appreciate what was hidden for times and ages. And let's see this. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 5. Therefore, judge nothing before the time, until the Lord comes. Who comes? The Lord. What does coming mean? Arrival. Don't judge anything. In other words, don't teach anything. Don't speak anything. Don't judge anything. This is not for you to judge. Don't judge anything until the Lord comes back. And when he returns, he will be in charge of bringing all these things out to light. And this is precisely what the man Christ Jesus has been doing for all these years, bringing out to light what was hidden in darkness. Romans 2:16. How was he going to do this? In the day when God will judge the secrets of men by Jesus Christ according to my gospel. The means that God would use, Jesus Christ would use to make us all see what was hidden for ages and times was the gospel. That's why the expression that I mentioned to you in Ephesians, and to make us all see what is the dispensation of the mystery that was held in darkness, and to clear to all, in other words, the period of time in which God has dealt with his people, because that's where the mystery is hidden. Who has done this? The man Christ Jesus. Abba Father, for the man Christ Jesus, because he is the reason that today we could understand this. And if today we understand this, it's because the Lord has come. Unfortunately, the time has come to its end, blessed with all blessing.
Man Christ Jesus, you're everything to me.